Just want to stop here and talk about something real quick. What the fuck is wrong with y'all scrabbling all over this tree like it's your fucking English test paper and shit like that? Stop that shit. Like, I get maybe like 1 or 2 marks, but like, look at the damage y'all did to this. Like, this tree looks like it's crying for help. It's got a hole here, bullet wound. That's an eye. Yeah, bullet wound right there, pretty much, I guess. It's starting to like crack down the middle and shit like that, just because you want to scrabble over, nature and shit like that. Like, look at this. Like, come on, this is almost bad as fucking graffiti and shit. I mean, granted, it do look cool with the drawings and shit, but I mean, come on now. Y'all beat the fuck out this tree. It's like black people getting lynched during slavery when they got caught for stealing the last piece of pie, and then they did that, except it's not a person. Y'all lynched the tree. Like, y'all literally scrabbled over this whole fucking tree. Disrespectful, all y'all. God damn. Do better, people. Shit, do better. So in case you're wondering why I'm all sweaty and shit, we outside today on this beautiful day. It's nighttime and shit. You see the fit though and shit. I'm not gay in this and shit. Stop saying I'm gay, because a lot of people keep saying that whenever I wear these colorful ass outfits. You just know I know how to dress better than you. But that's going to be for another video, because we're going to talk about that later. For now, I just wanted to talk about this beautiful medal that I got yesterday at my first blue belt tournament. Now, granted, I'm glad I at least got one, because I got destroyed like a bitch and shit for it, because blue belt is hard. I kind of expected it going into it and shit about how hard it was going to be, but I thought I'd at least be able to try out some of my shit, but there was just no time because of just how experienced people are already at this level. The difference between like white belt is that, like, at my last tournament, in case you weren't here for that, that was my second tournament in general. But I was able to at least, like, plan my attacks. Like, I was able to get collar tie when I went to. I was able to, plan things out and go about it slowly and work the things out with the other person as I was going out, going at it with him. So I was able to do things, and think about it. I could not think in this tournament. I survived every round but my first round. I had like 4 matches yesterday in total. In the first one, I just got armbarred within like the first 30 seconds of the round, and that was it. And the guy was just like super strong, and everyone was super strong yesterday. The first guy I went against, he was fucking just jacked. And after the round, I asked if he like do any weightlifting. He said, nah, I just do jiu-jitsu. And, I can believe that to an extent, but at the same time, the level of strength he had, it's like he was like crushing my arm. Like, literally, when he was doing the shit that he was doing. So I was like thinking to myself, like, how the fuck does he not do any form of lifting? Like, he has to do farm work, Shaolin exercises, just like something. Like, you can't just like come out the womb that naturally strong. That's like Goku Saiyan type strength that he had. And he was like gripping my arm and shit, which I don't know how he was doing. And then the next guy I went up against was kind of like Donnie Yen, and I'm not saying that because, I mean, it did happen to be an Asian guy. I'm not racist, but what he do is that he just, my camera cut out and shit, but we back. But I was calling him Donnie Yen, the second dude I went against, not because he's Asian and shit, but because of the fact that, like, what he do is he had a really good defense. A lot of jiu-jitsu people, what they'll do is that they'll get in this low stance and they'll sit down sometimes to back up, which normally you expect not to do in the fight. But he put his foot out, and like he had the stance that he did, like the sit down stance against Mike Tyson in the second Ip Man movie that he was doing. And it was a really common stance. And he sat down literally just like that, foot in the air, you know, 1 foot to the ground, all that shit. And I was just thinking to myself, yeah, it looked like, you know, Ip Man. And he was like taking people out. And he was taking me out like the same way. He'd start off like super slow and shit. And then out of nowhere, he'd just like blast. And before I knew, he was on top of me from a sit down position when I was standing up over him, which I don't know how the fuck people do that. It was like a magic trick just watching it. And I knew he was coming beforehand. But I just didn't expect it because of how slow he was going. I thought he was being calling me because I was somehow overpowering him. But no, he was just that crazy. But look at these views, by the way. It's so crazy. It reminds me of the Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back, when Luke was getting chased through the damn thing. But anyways, back to the subject. Yeah, that was the second guy. And the third guy, I don't remember too much of what happened. But then the fourth guy I went against, I survived against him. Oh, and I survived the second fight and the third fight too. And I survived this last one. But this last one was probably my most fun because I got to dance with him a lot and shit. Now, granted, I'm not the best with takedowns. What I like to do is I kind of like to circle around people a lot and, you know, grab their tricep or tip at their legs and make them want to come at me, because what normally will happen is, because I'm not as physically strong, granted, I am strong in myself, but I'm not as physically strong as some of these people out here. And they just overpower me crazy when I go for takedowns. So usually I like to let them go for their takedown, and then I like to counterattack. But I cannot get down on this guy because I will go for my common tricep pulls, which would normally pull people down. He was slipping out of those. Then I'd kind of go for leg grabs somewhat. And then he tried to guillotine me, so I had to back up out of that shit too. And then there were a few times where he got me to the ground and I was able to get up over him a tiny bit, and then he'd get me back down and shit like that. And then there was one point where we had a stalemate because he just stood like this while I was trying to come at his stomach and shit. And I couldn't take him down, and I was like whispering to the match. Well, he was whispering me at first. He was like saying like, "Come on, man, wrestle." And I was whispering him. I was like, "I don't know what to do." He was saying, "You want me to start off?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I let him start a counterattack. And I probably should have done that because it was fucking competition. But at the same time, like, I was just stuck dancing with him. It was just a dance battle at that point, most of the way through. Because I was thinking to myself, I don't know how to take him down, but at the same time, I don't want to go down either. So we were kind of at a stalemate. And then towards the end, he almost caught me in an arm bar. But then I slipped out of it, and then he almost caught me in a foot lock at the same time. Then I slipped out of that too. And then I finally got over top of him. But because I wasn't able to position it accurately, I didn't get any points and shit like that. So I lost that match. And I lost all of my matches, pretty much. So, yeah, I got destroyed. But this is the main thing I wanted to talk about, because the thing is, I thought I'd be upset after losing this competition. But for whatever reason, I feel a sense of joy. And I don't know why I feel joyful about it. But it's just because of the fact that, I mean, I don't necessarily feel happy about losing. Because don't get me wrong, like, I feel bad at the same time. Like my head's kind of dropping right now. I don't know what to say. I'm not necessarily happy about losing because I wish I could have at least like won one of my rounds. But what I'm happy about is that, like, I'm excited that I guess there's that much more of a challenge left in the sport. Because normally when you get used to something and really good at something at first, you kind of start to level out and average out when you're at a certain level. Like, for instance, like karate, kickboxing, even as hard as my kickboxing is, once I leveled out with other people, it's just punches and kicks and pretty much focusing on out-flurrying the other person so that they don't attack you. Jiu-jitsu, on the other hand, I still love kickboxing more, but jiu-jitsu always like keeps your mind going because it's kind of like human chess in a way, to where like for instance, like I was saying, I was at white belt before. And it was a lot easier to see people, like, you know, coming what they were doing, like, you know, going slow with it, because everyone wants to go slow with it because, like, we're all new at this and shit like that. And I thought, you know, as soon as I got good at those last few tournaments, I knew it was going to get harder and shit. But I thought I was pretty much, like, you know, squared away for the most part. But then I started my blue belt shit, and then I was thinking to myself, this is a lot tougher than I thought it was. And I'm gonna get used to, you know, fighting people at this level eventually, but I'm gonna reach a new plateau when I get to purple belt, and it's gonna be suck even more then, and it's gonna suck even more when I get to black belt, and it's gonna or brown belt, and it's gonna suck even more when I get to black belt, and even the degrees are gonna be even worse. Like, granted, even if I get that high, which I'm not sure, but the point is, it's just a lot more like this sport always like challenges my mind and my mental much more than kickboxing and boxing ever had. Like, I'd watch jiu-jitsu practitioners way before I even started, like, you know, training it, and I was thinking, okay, I'll avoid wrestlers as much as I can during my MMA fights and stuff, because, like, you know, I practice MMA for the main part. But I was thinking to myself, um just like how hard it actually was to get some, like, certain positions on certain people, because, like, some guards I just couldn't get through no matter how hard I tried, like, muscle through it. And then sometimes I do what I was, like, you know, taught in class to do, which how, like, you know, back step certain things and collar tie certain things. But, like, being, like, you know, in an instructional environment versus the actual fight is different, because in actual instruction, you know, people are letting you do the moves so you can get the form down. The actual fight comes and you're testing strength versus strength, so there's no room to try anything. You're just doing it. And I was getting outpowered by people in, like, you know, the weirdest positions that I never expected, and it just gave me, like, a super hard time. But I think I missed my point again, because I was saying, like, I wasn't, like, necessarily, like, mad at losing. I was actually, like, happy. I'm not necessarily happy I lost. I think I was just happy necessarily about how much, you know, fun I had, because as much as I did lose, I still my bad, I still got to have fun through the tournament, and I still got to, like, you know, dance with people, like, you know, try new things, and then, like, move around, let my adrenaline kind of spin for a bit. And it's just kind of, like, you know, thrilling, I guess, you know, try to get out of the attacks and stuff and avoid stuff that was coming at me. That'd be hard to avoid. Like, the thing is, like, even, like, when you're in a losing situation, like, you just get scared. But for me, I get scared, but at the same time I get excited, because I know arm bar's coming, I have to get out of it. So I get excited, and I'm thinking to myself, he's gonna get me, he's gonna get me. And then I get out of it, so, woo, he didn't get me. And then a footlock comes, and now I gotta get out of that. And it's always just a new trap, and it keeps me on my toes. So I guess that, like, got my adrenaline going to make me feel excited, so that by the end of the match, even though I didn't necessarily win, I felt excited about going against someone stronger than I was. I guess it's like how, like, the Saiyans, you know, Goku and Vegeta feel after they fight. And I think I finally, like, you know, understand, like, you know, why it's, like, so much fun to fight, because in the past, like, you know, I was, like, scared of losing and shit like that. I didn't want to lose at all. I just wanted to win the tournament, just so I could, like, you know, have a medal to show, you know, be happy that I got something. But the thing is, even though I lost the match this time around, or all my matches this time around, I got completely destroyed, people would expect me to feel butthurt. But I actually feel happy that I got some excitement out of the rounds, and I feel like that was the biggest lesson I took away from yesterday, was to pretty much just have fun. And as long as you kind of just, like, have fun with it, going through it, no matter what kind of danger you put yourself in, things can actually go your way. And in a way, things did kind of go my way. I still have to win the next match or next time, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely going to get the dub, because, like I said, 2 L's make a W. I can't hold the other hand because I'm holding my camera right now. But just imagine there's another L on the other hand. Just imagine there's another L on the other hand for this shit. Just in case, there's a W right here, because I took this L and I took a bunch of L's yesterday. So that's room for more wins in the long run. You feel me? Long too. Long. Get it? Huh? But no, I feel good about it, if anything. And I think my next tournament will be in 2 months. I really want to get these kickboxing tournaments going. It's just that I gotta, you know, get better for those, because I got really torn up at the last one. And I think my stamina's a lot better now, because I'm going on more runs and getting my cardio better. So I gotta, you know, get ready to over flurry the people with punches and kicks of mine, so I can, like, keep them off guard. But as the jiu-jitsu stands, I hit another plateau. So I lost a lot yesterday. But in the next 2 months, you know, I'm gonna train a lot harder. Not think as much because I can't think anymore. I was spending all day yesterday thinking about what attacks I should go for. I should call a tie here, step this way, and I can't think anymore. So I'm just gonna like don't get me wrong. I'm gonna know what I want to do before the tournament, but I'm gonna just go at it in the moment and do what I need to do to get my position set. Because that's what I should have done. Because what I was doing was I was thinking too much, so much to where the person would grab me the next second, and then before I knew it, I was already like, you know, tapping or almost tapping. And I can't do that anymore. I just gotta like, you know, be excited, get jiggy in the moment, you know, dance with them a little bit, and then you know, do what I can from there. Because I think that's mainly what jiu-jitsu is about when you get to the level I'm currently at right now. Because blue belt, like I feel like it's like where I feel like blue belt and white belt are similar. To a white belt, you're a newbie, but blue belt, you're like amateur. So you start to average out with a lot of people because that is where everyone is kind of showing their real strength for the actual first time. So blue belt is like just white belt, just crazier, more advanced. And then, like I said, the other belts above it are where people definitely spread out a lot more. But for right now, I had a good day. Yesterday it was bad losses, or not super bad losses because I survived, but I had a good time yesterday. I got one medal. Um, I feel happy about it overall and how it turned out. And like I said, every loss is a lesson. And the one thing that did help me out too is that, like, you know, I'd watched like as a kid, like, you know, anime got me into a lot of fighting in general. And as a kid, and like even now, I'd watch Vegeta and Dragon Ball Z take so many losses and get back up from those so many fucking times. Always saying, "I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. I will be Kakarot. I am the number one Super Saiyan." Ah, ha, ha, ha. And he'd be laughing like a motherfucker and shit like that. So if he can laugh like a motherfucker and still have the room to talk shit while getting his arm broken by androids, or his knee crushed in by Cell, or absorbed by Boo, and, you know, choked out by Frieza's brother, and, like, you know, having to stay under Frieza the whole entire damn time of his childhood, get his foot stomped or get his head stomped on, then coming back real strong in the end. If he can do all that shit, then I have no room to complain. And I'm so happy as fuck because next time I will get this W. And even if I don't, I'll still try again. But I think I can definitely get used to this. It's just going to be like, you know, a struggle, a lot harder this time because people are super strong at this range. But I think I definitely got it in the bag. And yeah, I overtalked again. It's like 13 minutes. I was trying to keep this under 5 minutes so I wouldn't keep y'all here for long. I'm really sorry if you're still here listening to me talk. I might be lost in these woods after a while because I'm not sure if you can tell. It is dark as fuck out here. And I probably walked like 2 miles out here. And I think I am lost. I hope a bear does not find me. If you do find this video, it means I made it home safely and uploaded it. Because there'll probably be music playing in the background and shit. But aside from that, I said my piece. Wish me luck the next time. I hope you are having a tremendous day or night wherever you are. And I might call one of y'all to come out and save me. I'm in the Cascade Trails, or Cascade Falls Trail, right outside of Baltimore. So if you're by that area, you know, come say hello and shit. Well, I'm not live, so whatever. I'm just rambling about shit. I should start vlogging, I think, too. Yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna let y'all go. See you when I see you. Thirsty? Take a sip. Yeah, there you go. Stay hydrated, yo. Kickabitz out. Okay, so I know you can't see me and shit, but the thing is, I can't see either. I was supposed to find a waterfall walking out in this bitch. It's a Cascade Falls Trail. You will get there in 2 hours. Or sorry, it's a 2.5 mile trail. I can usually walk 2 miles within a pretty short amount of time. Running and shit too. I'm not supposed to hear a waterfall. Do y'all see a waterfall anywhere in sight? Granted, the camera quality is really bad, but like, you know, I'm supposed to find a waterfall right now. I don't see a fucking waterfall. And I walked 2 fucking miles, and I gotta walk back to my fucking car. I see this fuck ass tree, and now I just walked up to a house. I think I walked up to a road. I'm fucking lost. They fucking lied on this trail. They fucking lied. I was supposed to find a fucking waterfall probably like an hour ago, and now I'm stuck in these woods and I can't see a goddamn thing. And it's getting real scary in this bitch. I haven't been this scared in a long, long time. So I know someone's gonna come jumping out the corner. It's fucking Sunday night, and I was thinking I was gonna see some beautiful scenery. I was thinking to come out in the evening because I was thinking daylight savings time is here and shit, so the sun won't be going down for a while. The moon is now out. It has been an hour and a half since I started walking, and I haven't found the goddamn Cascade Falls that I was supposed to find. Go figure. Go fucking figure. God, I need help, shit. Normally I'm not happy to see the police, but right now I am. Can't help but feel that way. I've been lost in this forest for fucking 5 hours almost. This shit is driving me crazy. I'm ready to go home. Kickabitz out. Fuck's sakes. Alright, so I'm driving home right now. And I just had a crazy ass experience and shit. Cause I ran into the police again. If you watched any of my other previous videos during the last week, you'll know that I got popped up by the police for like the 3rd time in a month for speeding tickets. This wasn't a speeding ticket. This was staying in a park after dark kind of ticket and shit. Which I wasn't even trying to stay that long. Stupidest shit. So that park, I was telling you I got lost in, I was just making jokes and shit earlier, thinking that, you know, I'm not gonna get trapped here. I'll find my way out, because it said online, and this is like the Cascade Falls Trail by like Patapsco Skate Park in Baltimore. I know I just butchered that name and shit, but it literally said that it's a 1.5, 2.5 mile trail, and I'm thinking, okay, I run like a 17-20 minute mile, so walking this should be like a piece of fucking cake. What I didn't take into account, that there's like a bunch of trails around there, like the Cascade Falls Trail, where there's like a waterfall that I was looking for. But then they had Ridge Trail, Falls Trail, Patapsco Valley State Park Trail, all these different trailheads, keep in mind, that aren't marked on the trees or on any other areas, or at least in like obvious enough areas where I can see it. But it's telling me this is the way to go and shit. And I'm like trying to find my way back before, like, you know, the sun sets and everything else. And, you know, to my discretion, I ended up like finding my way back, you know, somewhat as I'm like retracing my steps. But then all of a sudden I see orange, like paint on some of the trees. And I'm saying, there wasn't orange on any of the trees that I followed, it was just blue. And it was in the middle of the night. So like my perception was being blocked, because what I saw during like the daylight was different what I saw during the night. So I knew from that point I was lost. Then I get a phone call from my dad. Christian, you're supposed to be home. I saw you were in Patapsco Valley Park, because the cop just called me from your brother and shit like that. You're not supposed to be in that park after dark and shit like that. And I'm like, I know, Dad. I'm trying to find my way out. So, God damn it, Christian. This is why we don't do shit like this and shit. And I'm literally thinking to myself, this is not my fucking fault. I'm trying to find my way out of this park. Like I was supposed to be out of probably like an hour or two ago. I stayed in that bitch for 5 fucking hours. 5 hours trying to get out of that bitch. And then my dad's yelling at me, and like keep my life. Like I have a really nice father, but he's just like really worrisome. And I make a lot of mistakes because I'm just like clumsy like that from time to time. But like I make a lot of mistakes around him, so like sometimes he thinks I do certain things on purpose. But I was literally thinking I was only going to spend like probably 30 minutes, like an hour in that park. I didn't intend to walk any of these other fucking trails. And this happened at the last, you know, park I was at too.
None of these trailheads are marked. They all like are tied to like the Appalachian Trail or like, you know, Catoctin Mountain Trail. Like it's all like one big park. So like I'm thinking to myself that like, you know, if it just is Cascade Falls, I'm only gonna be walking Cascade Falls. I didn't expect to end up on the Ridge Trail. I didn't expect to end up on the Valley Trail. I just wanted to find the waterfall and go home. And then the stupid thing was when I was trying to go home and shit like that, you know, after my dad called, you know, the cop calls me saying, and he was a British dude. He was saying, I'm with Huntington Valley State Police and shit like that, and you know, you're in the park after dark and everything. Like, can you tell me why you were here? And then I had to tell him I didn't intend to stay in the park that long. And then he ended up like, you know, blasting his sirens, and everything. And then like I had to follow the way back. I had to step in the river when I was coming back too. And then guess what I found on the way back while I was walking through the trees and going off the trailhead just to find my way back as I was following his lights, because he was blaring his lights and like, you know, flashing his lights out so I could like see it in the air, so I could like, you know, follow. But as I was on my way back to him, guess what I found in the middle of the night? I'll give you a second to guess it. It makes a sound. The fucking falls that I was looking for. Right at the entrance. Right by the fucking entrance. And somehow, which is the weirdest thing, I'm not sure if my ears are just that bad or whatever the fuck, but the thing is that I should have been able to hear water at the beginning. I heard trains, I heard cars, I heard little trickles of a stream, but I didn't see a big ass river. Why did I not see a big ass river until I came back? I should have seen it going forward. It took like the way I came back, because I had to use Google Maps to find my way back, and somehow it works. Normally, like when you use Google Maps, like when you're in the middle of the trail, it doesn't work. But for whatever reason, it did, because like, you know, service gets knocked out like when you're in the middle of the woods. But for whatever reason, if I started working when I came back, and it showed me the way, and somehow I ended up finding a waterfall on the way back, but somehow when I'm going on the trail that literally says Cascade Falls Trail, I don't find the waterfall. Explain that to me, because I'm not stupid. Okay, I am stupid to an extent. But, you know, I know my ways around trails. I have a dog's nose and, you know, a bat's echolocation for ears and shit like that. So I know my way around nature and shit when I go around and shit. I know I might be black, but I ain't scared of, like, you know, a few trails and whatnot. I know my way around these trails, and I know how to read. It says Cascade Falls Trails right there. How the fuck are you taking me away from the trails on, like, the Valley State, you know, Park Trail, whatever fuck ass trail I found? How are you taking me away from that bitch and not to the area I want to be? And then the cop, like, you know, granted, like, he had every right to, but he was probably mad. Like, I was trying to apologize to him, like, saying, like, you know, I know I had you, like, stay out here for a while, because he was trying to lock the gate and everything to leave, because usually state parks close after 7. But some parks usually say like, they stay open 24 hours. And when I searched this park up on Google, it was literally saying, like, you know, there's no open or close times. So I'm thinking, even if I did somehow stay out past, you know, dark, I wouldn't get in trouble, because, you know, like, it didn't look at anything. Like when I went up to drive in, there was like a one of those security stations, but no one was in it, and it didn't have any, like, you know, high-tech guards or everything, or it said be up by this time. It just let me walk in. So I'm thinking, like, there's no one here. I didn't have to pay to get in. To my site, it didn't say be out at a certain time. So I was thinking I was cool. And then all this bullshit happens. Like the minute the moon came out, and that's another thing too. I guess the moon makes, like, water stronger, like makes the tide stronger, because all of a sudden I'm hearing all this water and seeing all these rivers that I didn't see when I was walking back. And another thing too, which is, like, I guess, like, you know, you see, like, you know, your depth perception is a lot more different at night than it is during the day. So I guess that's something. But I'm, like, wondering, like, why the fuck did it take me walking back and getting lost to find what I was looking for in the first place? I wasn't even looking for it anymore on the way back. I was just trying to find my way out. Then I ended up, like, finding it. And that's just life. You find certain things in life when you're not looking for it and shit. Which in this case, I'm happy I found it, but I'm still pissed off because I almost, like, you know, fell in the river a bunch trying to get my way out that forest. And then I made the police mad for, like, the 4th time in the fucking month. So I'm getting my stars up in GTA now, I guess. You know, call me CJ now and shit. You know, real lawbreaker out here. So now y'all can't make fun of me. Now y'all can't call me weak and shit, because, you know, I'm out here committing crimes. I'm out here staying out past. I'm out here staying past dark on these trailheads and shit like that. I can make it a lot worse. I made it 5 hours. This I might make it 6 and give myself a 6-star and shit. You know, real crime, or real criminal, real talk, real gangster out here and shit. But yeah, now I gotta go home. My dad's probably gonna be yelling at me saying, "This is why we don't do this again, Christian. This is why we don't do this." And then I gotta explain to him, I didn't even intend to do anything wrong. And then he's probably gonna be pissed and shit like he always is at me, because he always thinks I'm making these mistakes on purpose, which I'm not. And sometimes it's my fault because I'm just clumsy. And other times it's, you know, just me doing wrong. But I'm always doing wrong somehow, even when I don't mean to. It just pisses me off. Like I want to go get some pancakes. I was about to go like walk the town tonight, but I just want to go home and play a video game now. Because my time was unintentionally wasted. I'm trying to find my way out of a state park that I should have been out of probably in less than an hour. But yeah, I'll see you when I get home, I guess. Peace.
Actually, one more thing too I wanted to make something about. Does water scare any of you at night by chance? Because yeah, this has been a thing for me since I was a kid. Water, I mean, even during the day it's scary. Water during nighttime is just really freakish to me. And I'm not sure if it's because I just looked at too many horror movies when I was younger or whatnot. And granted, like, I hate horror movies. I don't even watch them, but like at least the ones I heard, something always happens to like the main character or like some of the victims when they get near a large body of water. And the fact was, it wasn't scaring me during the day because I wasn't hearing the rivers during the day, so I was thinking there's nothing to be scared about. But when I was trying to find my way out this park, I was scared, first off, because of the fact that I was thinking to myself, crap, I might have to spend the night around this bitch, around a bunch of fucking spiders, webs I keep walking up into. And I'm thinking it can't get any worse, and I might find, like, you know, some killer out on these paths, because, like, you know, that's what kind of happens in horror scenarios and shit. Keep in mind, I wasn't in, like, you know, Farmer Jenkins territory, like, you know, Freddy Krueger's, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street. But, like, you know, it was dark, it was kind of spooky. And then, like, as I'm getting closer, like, you know, salvation, like, as I'm trying to find my way out, I hear, like, the water trickling. And you know, my heart starts thumping and shit like that. Because literally, like, when I found, like, you know, the trailhead waterfall I was, you know, looking for on the way into the park when I was leaving, I turned around and saw the saw the waterfall right behind me. And it looked like a big monster with his hands out like that. As, like, the water's just getting loud and louder. Like, right behind me. And I know, like, you know, it's not going to attack me. Like, no one's going to start, like, you know, bending the water. I'm not going to just, like, drown out of nowhere and shit. But, like, it just, like, freaked me the fuck out. And I was, like, thinking, this is it. And, like, you know, the violins and, like, you know, the dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun-dun. And that, like, ocean beat started playing in my head. And I was thinking, this is it. This is the end of me or something like that. But, like, that waterfall, like, really scared me. And, like, you know, seeing the river just kind of scared me on the way out, too. But, like, just seeing water at night, like, gives me a different perception than it does during the day. Granted, like, it's scary during the day. But it's even, like, scarier at night because, like, it just gives you chills. And, you know, water's cold at night and then everything. Like the moon, like I was saying earlier, like how the moon, like, you know, makes higher tides. And I guess, like, the moon controls the tides and whatnot. But, which is why I guess I was, like, hearing it. But it just, like, scared the fuck out of me. And I was, like, thinking, if I got to hear this, like, being stuck out here for, like, the next, like, you know, 8 to 10 hours until the sun comes out, like, you know, my head's going to be fucking spinning with this bullshit. Because I was, like, you know, going crazy first from being stuck out there. And then I got to hear the river for the rest of the night as I'm trying to find my way out that bitch. But it was just something. Like I was just wondering if it freaks any of you other people out, because goddamn, it sure did me. I was even trying to tell that cop about it on the way out, but I don't even think he was trying to hear anything. I think he was just mad. I made him stay an extra 4 hours. So he was, like, saying, "Well, how much longer are you going to be in there?" Because I was wondering when you're going to get out, and I was just telling him, like, you know, 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes can turn into 30 minutes. 30 minutes can turn to another hour, and you just probably just pissed off because you probably just want to close the gate. You probably saw my skin kind of like, oh fuck no, another black niglet out here wasting my time. Fuck's sakes, man. He reminds me of a British teacher I had back in high school, and I was pissing off. Like, all these British niggas. Like, I remember I used to admire British people a lot when I was younger because their voices were just so cool. But I just end up pissing all of them off for whatever reason. When I get like I piss off the police, I piss off old people, and now I'm pissing off British niggas. Unless they're black for whatever, because you can't like one black man can't piss off another black man unless like the black man you run into is like one of those C word kind of people. I'm not gonna say the actual word. It rhymes with moon, in case you're wondering. But that's like one of those black people that's trying to like snitch on you every single time. You can't one black person can't piss off another black person. But like British people, cops, teachers, like and the thing is, I'm not a bad person, but I'm just so clumsy and loudmouth and just have like such high energy to the point to where like these other people that I piss off have like lower energy or kind of a little bit high maintenance at times and are a lot more serious than I am. So we're like polar opposites. So the things that I do that I think are natural just end up pissing me off. Just like sometimes how they're super strict and how other things that they do sometimes I guess don't necessarily piss me off, but I guess wouldn't be in my expertise of knowledge and whatnot, which is why I guess we don't mesh closely. But I just end up pissing all sorts of people off unintentionally when I'm just trying to do the right thing, and I just don't know why this shit continues to happen at every fucking turn. But I just wanted to say that thing about water earlier, and then I ended up getting this rant about the police and British people and everything. I still want to go to London. Like I still love all y'all British people out there. Like I love y'all. You see, y'all are really cool. But it was my fault in this case that I made the cop like mad and perturbed and made him wait. So it was on me. I'm taking my accountability. It's not your fault, Mr. Police, if you're watching this. Just like I just wish I could stop making people angry. Sometimes. See you when I get home.
So today's the next day. I was way too lazy to film last night after the shit. But you see some chicken, you see the potatoes, you see the yogurt, you see the SpongeBob's house right here. R.I.P. to that rotten pineapple. Then you see the chicken breast and the corn and the damn pasta. Yeah. Uh, this is only half of what I cook. Usually I have like two of my meals split up. Like sometimes I'll have a breakfast side of my meal, and this will be a lunch side of my meal, and I'll usually eat it all at once. But because of my work schedule, my MMA schedule, and other things, I usually split up those meals. So usually I'll eat this one day, and then I'll have something different tomorrow, and then I'll have this again the next day, and so on and so forth. This isn't an actual camera. This is my iPhone camera, so it's not really as good as it probably should be and whatnot. But it's a lot more higher quality. It is good eats. This is not rotten. I go to the gym a lot and I do MMA for practice. So I gotta keep my calories up so I can keep my protein up and shit and whatnot, because that is important to me and whatnot. So I gotta do that shit. But yeah, this is what I be eating and shit. So I'm gonna go chow down on it, pretty much. I also just woke up not long ago. It's probably like around like 3 o'clock right now. So I pretty much slept the whole night away because last night stressed me out after all that bullshit you heard in the last two parts of the vlog. But yeah, I'll keep you posting and I'll see you. All right, so I just got done eating my meal, and I was gonna record more, but I'll probably just end up um filming next weekend and shit. I didn't expect to have so many things to talk about after filming the one thing. So I was just gonna talk about my BJJ experience. Why did I? I thought I said BJ experience. Was like I would have sounded weird if I said that shit. Uh, considering you are tussling with other guys and whatnot, which doesn't make it sound any better of me saying BJ and BJ. Just my Brazilian Jiu Jitsu experience. I was talking about that, and I didn't expect to get lost in the park and make a whole vlog kind of scenario video. But it did kind of drive up the idea that maybe I'll probably start vlogging maybe one day out of the week. I don't want to do it every day. It's just, for me, I don't like pulling out a camera every single second of my life, but I do like doing it for like the little bits of my life that do seem kind of interesting if I do have something to talk about. So I might just start doing it once a week along with the other videos. And I do need to get a better, camera, like a GoPro camera or something, because I'm using my phone camera right now. So it's probably like a little bit like lower quality and whatnot and all that other shit and this, that, and the third. But one thing that did piss me off was that when I got back home after getting lost in that park yesterday, I ended up looking up videos of people, and let me see if I can find them right now, cause this pissed me off too. I was looking up videos of these people going through the same park I just went through yesterday, and these people found like the same waterfalls or waterfalls. Let me tell you, I can't multitask and shit. But these people found the same falls I found within like a really short amount of time that I found. Like look at this shit. Quick jog to Cascade Falls. And then this nigga found it within like fucking like, if you can see down there, it says 5 minutes and 28 seconds. And it took me 5 hours and probably 28 minutes. So I really went down a loophole trying to find that bullshit. Testament to my brain, I guess, because I can't. I even went down a path that said Cascade fucking Falls. It said Cascade Falls and thing. Where else should the thing have led me? And then all these other signs start showing. I don't even want to go up. I explained it yesterday. The point is, I'm tired. It's close to evening. I got to go to work in a few hours, so I'm probably gonna do some exercising and pick up some groceries and put some lights in my car that I have to before the cops possibly pull me over on the highway again tonight for having out lights. It's just a lot of shit that I got to do. But I'll probably start doing a vlog once a week and then other videos during the week. If you'd like to see that, or if anyone wants to see that, I'll just do it anyways because I want to and I'm bored. Because all I gotta do is talk to a camera, and I got a camera to talk to, and y'all to talk to. So you will be interested in this shit. Unfortunately, too. But anyways, um, yeah. I just wanted to say that. I guess this will be the first vlog of many to come, and I'm happy to have you here. Consomnita, thank you for being part of it. Welcome. I don't know what to say. I guess I'll cut it off here. I just hope you have a good Monday and shit. Have had a good Monday if you're just getting home from work and or whatever you're doing. And I hope you are having a crispy ass day. Um, yeah. See you later.